are in order. Most of those kids that be committing these crimes, a lot of them come from broken homes, man. A lot of them are coming from unresponsible mothers.
You wouldn't have rape. Rape is lawful, but you got issue with like rape in the Bible. A lot of individuals got issue with rape.
Right.
Now the scriptures say that a woman is meant to be keepers of the house.
Right.
They're meant to be in the house. Why? Because when women gather abroad, the scriptures tell you how they gather abroad is like water going to every gap and everything like that. And if you see these women out here, they show their titties out, they show everything out, and then if you go and go and try to speak to her, there's this whole big thing about harassment. Yeah. Or harassing her now. But she walking around with her titties out, man. Because I was watching something yesterday, and they were talking about in America about harassment, and there's one white woman walking on the road, and she had cameras on her.
Yeah.
To see how many men would come and holler at her, and how many men she gets harassed on a consistent basis daily.
And it's not really harassment. It's just that she's drawing men to her. That's all it is.
Exactly. And the thing is, so it's all black men. So it's all black men hollering at a white girl. So it was like a racial thing. And I'm thinking in my head, if they stuck to what the scripture said, put a woman in the house, you wouldn't have none of this.
Or just cover her ass up.
Exactly.
Cover her from behind her.
But then stick her in the house. Yeah. Obviously, if there's a hungry lion and you put a piece of meat in front of the lion, what do you expect that lion to do? To sit there and say, no, I must have discipline.
Right.
And the lion... Yeah, exactly.
I must have discipline.
Yeah, I must have discipline because eating meat is inappropriate. I must be a vegetarian. He's not going to do that. He's going to grab the meat, man. That's when his natural instinct. Yeah. That's how stupid it is. That these women were sitting around the table talking about, oh, men are harassing me and everything like that, especially when we're young. I'm thinking, no, it's men, you're complaining about men who don't like talking to you.
Yep, that's right.
Because if a man you liked came and talked to you, that you sexually attracted to, you jump from him. It's like you're complaining about guys who you don't like approaching.
But you know what too, as well, I think what it is when women say, oh, he's harassing me, they like it, man. They get it.
They must do. It validates them. It validates their beauty.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Think about it.
That's all nonsense.
If you had no man coming at you,
right,
you get all insecure and think that no man likes you, then you start saying, oh, they must be gay. Men must be gay or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People continue to dress the same way. So.
Exactly. Yes. No, this is so. I mean, are they really bothered by it? Not really. They like it. So the point, and this is why,
right?
And this is why I say what I say. This is why certain people have to be guided, man. Because some people they can't guide their own self, and that's women. They can't guide themselves, man. They've shown that time of the time in the society. Can't do it. Go on, brother.
1 Timothy 5 verse 13. And with all, they learn to be idle,
right?
Wandering about from house to house.
Yep.
Meaning like they're on the street walking around.
Yeah. Like we see right now. Yeah.
And not only idle, but tattlers also and busybodies.
Yeah. So that's when you get this is why you get single parent households, because you have women that have no idea what to find in a man, what to look for, because she didn't have the proper parents to tell her what to do and what man to find. So she goes out there finding this guy that she thinks is cool because he looks like some guy on TV, and he don't know a damn thing, take care of no damn family. But she's expecting him to raise some kid. Okay, and the dude's a loser, man. He ain't got nothing to the table. You understand what I'm saying? And they do the same guys over and over again. So they're showing you they don't know what they're doing. This is why in the kingdom of heaven, all of this shenanigans that we see out in the West won't exist no more. Because it's going to be complete order.
It says,
go on, brother.
Speaking things which they ought not.
Right.
I would therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, guide the house.
That's it.
Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
Right, and that's what it's all going to be about. It's all going to be them being in the house, covering up their funky behinds, stop showing their asses for the world to see, and their vagina pieces. That's going to be stopped. All of that is going to be completely stopped. And these women, they're going to respect themselves because they're going to have to respect their head, their husband. Okay. Now, I don't want to talk about women. I want to go back to the point.
Isaiah 60, verse 5.
Right.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea
Right.
shall be converted unto thee, the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
And that's what's going to happen. The men that are set on high, because of them putting in the work right now in these days and times, doing the work of the Father, they're going to benefit the most of the kingdom of heaven. And all of the goods that the scripture says we're going to get is going to be converted unto us. And even all of the billions and millions of people are going to be converted unto us. You know, you got all of these little rap guys, these little rap dribbling Negroes. They want to be rappers and stuff like that because they want to wear the gold chain. And they want to have all the girls, but the girls they want already been used already. They use goods. So I mean, what kind of goodness is that? There's nothing in that. All right, but what we're gonna receive in the kingdom, we're gonna have virgins, and they're gonna be beautiful. So we're gonna have the whole shebang. Not only is she gonna be banging, but she's not gonna be she's gonna be a new woman, a fresh woman. All right, and all of the goods that we're gonna have is gonna be A1. We're gonna have the A1 apples, the A1 steak. All right, the A1 chicken. We're gonna have the best of it all. Let's read this.
The multitudes of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian
Right, the dromedaries of Midian, go on.
and Ephah,
And Ephah, go on.
all they from Sheba
Right.
shall come. They shall bring gold and incense,
Right.
and they shall show forth the praises
Of the Lord.
That's
it. So all of the goods, and even if you go to Kuwait and all of those different lands, right? If you're a so-called Negro, you go down there just to visit. Them dudes is looking to serve your ass already. They looking to serve you already. Because my mother went down there, right, and her brother and everything, right? My uncle, he went down there along with her. It's my uncle. He's into that Islam stuff, and they were looking to just pretty much worship. So these other nations, they actually want us to rule. They're looking for the kingdom of heaven and don't even know it.
Wow.
Okay? Go on, man.
all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together
Right.
unto thee.
Right. So I mean, if you can imagine when we're in our when we're in that position of power in decadence, come on, man, them nations, they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's just give everything to them.
Yeah.
If they're doing that now, if they're on that servitude level now when they see us in our lower state, just imagine when we get in our higher state. They're gonna let everything go. They're gonna let their pride go, and they're gonna say, you know what, you know what they even said to my uncle, right, when he was down there, they said, look, I have a daughter that can marry you. I have a daughter that can marry you. That's what he said. That's what some Arab guy said to my uncle. I have a daughter for you. So they looking to give it up already. So just imagine when we get in that power. Come on, man, all bets is off, baby boy. Go on, brother.
He said, all the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee.
Right, all the flocks of Kedar. Go on.
The rams of Nebaioth
Yep.
shall minister unto thee.
Right, the rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. That's all of them Arab nations. They're gonna give up their rams. They're gonna give up their camels. All of the goods that they got, they're gonna give it to us. Why? Because they're gonna see the presence of the Lord on us. Okay? Because if you go down there right now, they want to give everything to us right now, and we're in our lower state. We ain't shit right now. So just imagine when we in that power. Come on, man. Come on, brother.
They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows?
Right. So this is what I be saying, man. Like, you know, you brothers out there, man, that's looking for women, just don't even deal with that, man. I mean, if you want to get a woman, you get a woman. Hey, the scripture says if you burn and get a woman. But don't be looking at, don't be putting this society as a whole on a pedestal, man. You understand? Because these women, they're up this world. They're all messed up in the head. They've been used and abused. And we just gotta let that go for now, man. We gotta focus on what's important and focus on this word and the practices, man. All right, because if you get a woman, all you're gonna do is you're gonna be with her for like a few minutes or so, and then you're gonna move on to the next one. Because like I said, these are not women, brothers. These are what you call females or things, or what you can say prostitutes.
Yeah.
They are prostitutes because what do you gotta do, brother? You know when you go out on a date, in order for you to really get the pum pum, what do you have to do? Huh? You have to spend money. So how do you spend money? You got to go to a restaurant, Nando's or whatever restaurant, so you can get the pool. So in a sense, you're paying for it. You're pretty much paying for sex.
And the money got them down.
Right. So ultimately, just based on that concept alone, most of these, I'm not saying all of them. I'm gonna be fair. I'm not gonna say all of them, but the overriding majority, when you're dealing with a woman, what do? You gotta take her out and pay money to get with her. So they're all prostitutes. All right. That's the reality of the matter. Now, I might sound a bit bitter. I might sound bitter or ruthless in saying that, but I'm just telling you about reality. That's the real world we live in. Okay, these women out here, they ain't shit right now. And these men out here as well, they ain't shit too. Okay, but we gotta focus on them, that's what we gonna get, because we gonna be proper men in the kingdom. We gonna be men of standards. The women that we gonna have, they gonna have standards. All right, it's like I was even looking at some Arabic women, right, on the what's name, on my phone, on the Google. And most of them, I'm gonna just be real with you, most of them have that dainty, delicate, soft look to them.
Yeah, they do still. They do.
Very delicate, soft, dainty look to them.
They do.
Right.
I know, because I work and they're very feminine.
Very, very feminine women. Very
They're
feminine.
looked after. They're looked after. The Arab men, they give them money.
Yep.
You know, they let them. They buy in Fendi,
Yep.
Prada. They're always shopping at these expensive shops.
Yeah.
They're all up in Marylebone,
Yeah.
Mayfair. They live around there. These expensive hotels.
Yeah.
They got money, man. The women are nice, man.
Yep.
A lot of them don't even have to work, man.
Nope.
They ain't even working.
Nope.
They covered up. Their hair's covered up.
Their body's covered up. Everything's covered up. But when you look at their pictures on the what is it, the Google, you can feel that delicate, soft vibration just by looking at their face. So if you look at the women of the Western Hemisphere, they don't have that soft daintiness to them. They have that hard look, like they're ready to knock you out. Now, if you compare the so-called Negro woman to the Arabic woman, there's no comparisons. I pick the Arabic woman any day. Anything. Because I know how she's going to treat me. She's going to treat me based on how she's supposed to treat me, based on on how she grew up.
Yeah.
Okay? And that kind of thing. So this is why my man, Tommy Sotomayor said, he said, pretty much the Israelite man, we have the worst women. And it's true. It's very true. You compare the Elamite women on how they conduct themselves to the so-called Negro women. It's no different. I mean, look at that, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just a step hair full of weave. And then so this is what I'm saying. So if you look at the other nations now, they already got their own hair. Why should I have to struggle to buy nails, to buy weed, to buy this, to buy that, just so I can stay with it? I shouldn't have to be doing all of that. And then I gotta deal with your attitude. It's too much work, man. It's too much work, and it's expensive too.
Listen, I didn't mean to shout, yeah, right? Because I'm not full white anyway, yeah, right? Your religion is the only religion I do respect. It's the only religion that hasn't changed from day dot. Do you see what I mean? It hasn't. But you know, white people ain't all the cause of everybody's problems. You do know that, don't you?
I do know. I'll say this. I know this, right? Now, amongst so-called
they are
Europeans,
bastards. The American are, and I'm half American.
there's
and I
difference. We
understand
know that there's a difference between so-called Europeans. We know this, right? Now we know that there's some white
I'm
people.
half Italian.
That's what I was going to deal with.
You know what I mean? And I've got Jewish in my blood as well,
On
and
your father's
Irish.
side, right?
Yeah, my dad's Irish. My mum's American.
Okay.
No, my dad's Italian. Sorry, my mum's American, but
Well,
Irish
I can
Jewish.
tell. Yeah, I can tell. But
So,
what I'm
like,
saying, we're saying as a
where do
whole.
I start? You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck I'm going to start.
Right. But you know that we're going to continue with the word. We're going to continue.
Yeah,
with
do it. It is seriously. Islam is like
We're not no
only
Muslims.
words.
We're not Muslims, by the way.
No, Islam.
I know, but we're not
I
Muslims.
understand that.
We're not
And I
Muslims. We're not
understand
Islam.
your-
We're the real truth that the Bible speaks about. Oh,
Really? And what is it? What is your religion then?
so we just gonna read. Let's just read this.
Surely the hours shall wait for me.
Because I was still in with a point, and I want to deal with this point.
Can I just ask you one point, quick?
No,
Do you
no, no.
believe
And the
Jesus
ships
is the
of
Son of God?
Tarshish first to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, and to the name of the Lord thy God,
Right.
to the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah, so we're gonna have ships of nations that are going to bring us the goods. They're going to go from one land to the next land to bring us what they need to bring us. And that's what they're going to do. All right? That's exactly what they're going to do in our world. As what happened to King Solomon is going to happen to us now. But this is going to happen when this society is destroyed, when we go through a nuclear war. Okay, once this society goes through a nuclear war, then our society is going to come up and Yahweh Shah is going to rule the earth. All right, and then all of this goodies is going to take place right here. Go on.
Because he hath glorified thee,
Right.
and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee.
Right, and their king shall minister unto thee. But like I was harping on earlier before, I mean, I know I said I don't want to talk about no women. But I'm just saying, when you look at the Western women, when you look at the Middle Eastern women, the Middle Eastern women, they're more dainty, they're more feminine, they're more gentle. Okay?
And they smell good.
And they smell really nice too.
Enough to cook as well.
Okay? They keep themselves prepped up. They don't sin. Alright? They take care of themselves, they take care of their hair. And you can tell that they're proper women, they're proper women. The ideal. But the women in this Western Hemisphere, especially in England, they're not women. These are not women. They're pretty much like you said, brother. Like you said, they're ducks. Like that thing that came up. Is that a woman to you? That ain't no woman, man. That's just a woman that's just pretty. That's just a female. That's a female that's been bad. Well, like.
They're masculine, man. They want to be like men. They want the same rights as men.
Yeah.
They want to be on the street with their mouth open, talking their shit,
Strutting
strutting around.
with her pants down today.
See?
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to dress up like men. They want to be men.
Yeah.
They're dogs, man. And then they want you to respect them around top of it.
Right.
I asked this woman, "What's your name?" She said, "What's your name?" I was like,
Yeah,
like, come on now, man. Like, how the hell? Come on now. Like,
I mean,
well, I've
and
asked you a question. You've ignored my question, and now you're saying, "Oh, you told me your name."
Right.
I'm thinking, man, get the fuck out of here. I can't have kids with you.
And you know too, a lot of them smoke cigarettes too. I mean, what's feminine? What's feminine? A woman smoking a cigarette? That's not even feminine. All right, and they drink. They get themselves drunk to oblivion. It's nothing feminine seeing a woman drinking a beer. What's feminine about that? That's not feminine. So this is the shit we gotta do, brothers.
Yeah.
You understand? So you already know the deal. Now, I'm not saying all of them are full of shit, no. Because you got decent women that try to be the best they can be in this Western Hemisphere, but the majority of them, they're not really women, man. When we look at the definition of what the word women mean, they're not women. All right? I'll say the ones in the East, they fit more of that description than these ones right here.
The ancient woman.
Okay? Even the ones in Assyria and all of those different regions, man, they fit more of that description than the ones down here. So we're gonna continue on.
Right. That's it.
Now we're gonna dive into the original point now. Go on, brother.
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee,
Right.
but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Right. So it says, "Thy son shall build up thy walls." So what do you think that's talking about? It's not talking about actual walls. Right. It is talking about actual walls.
It's gonna be
Okay.
like-
Because you're gonna have towers that are gonna be built up. You're gonna have palaces that are gonna be built up, and we won't even have to lift a finger. The nations are gonna be lifting all of their fingers to build that shit up. That's what's gonna go down. All right.
That trash, man.
So that's how it's gonna go. And in comparisons to what these rappers want, these little women and Negroes, what they want, come on, man, that's nothing. What's the gold chain gonna do? And what I found out, a lot of that shit's fake too. Shit's kind of fake, really. All right, that's what I found out. But what we're gonna have is gonna be real. Everything's gonna be real. We're gonna have real gold, real silver, okay, real bronze. We're gonna have the complete shebang, baby. That's what we're gonna have. So read on.
Therefore thy gate shall be open continually.
Why is the gates gonna be open continually? So that all of the go on.
They shall not be shut day nor night.
Right.
That men may bring unto thee
Right.
the forces of the Gentiles,
Right.
and that their kings may be brought.
That's it. So that's why the gates are going to be open. The reason why the gates are going to be open so that they can bring the goods in. Slavery. All right? Because it tells you on how we're going to build back the desolate places. back to his former age. All right. Now, how is that going to be done? That's going to be done based on the other nations putting in that work, like we put in the work building this society up. All right. How was Britain established and built it up? It was built up by the blacks, the so-called Negro, the so-called black people, which are Israelites. All right, and then left us in the ghettos, in the slums. That's how Britain was established. Okay, and America too. America was built by the backs of the so-called Negroes and all of that. And now, after the work was done and officially through, they gave you ghettos. Okay, they took you from where you came from so that you can work the economy, all right, to build up their economy because they couldn't do it themselves. And I'm talking about the so-called white people. They couldn't do it themselves, so they took you from West Africa so that you can do the work. And what did you get in return? Nothing. And guess what? We don't want no reparations. Because we're going to get the reparations from the Lord, and we're going to get more than the reparations. All right, so let's do this.
So they say, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Right, so what's going to happen is all of them other nations that you see on the planet, whether they be so-called Arabs, so-called white people, so-called Chinese, which are the Moabites, so-called Japanese, they all going to serve these people right here. All right, and guess what? The people the ones of our people that are awake to this truth, we have a ruling class mentality. We just waiting for this to go out. We're not going to come out here and say, well, everybody's equal and this and that and the third. When you research history, there was no such thing as equality. Excuse me. There was no such thing as equality when you go out throughout the history. All right, let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right, he chose one people. These are the people right here. What is it? Tribe of Judah, tribe of Benjamin, tribe of Levi. This is what they're called today. Okay, these are what you call their slave names. All right, that their conquerors gave unto them, but this is who we are.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, that are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, if you look at all of them other nations, they were all made, but does that mean the Lord likes them? No, it doesn't mean that. And it doesn't matter whether the Lord likes them or he likes them. What matters is the fact is that the covenant is going to be played out. The covenant of Jacob. Now, the covenant of Jacob is on how all of the families of him are going to bow before him. So what are the families of Jacob? All of the sons that produce their nation. Okay, go on.
Isaiah 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Right. The so-called Chinese, so-called Arabs, so-called East Indians, so-called Japanese, so-called indigenous Africans too, because they're a different nation of people from us. Okay? They're nothing to the Most High. Go on, brother. We're reading the Bible. We're not reading no other Bible, made-up Bible. We're reading the actual Bible and we swear in the courts. Go on, brother.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Yep.
And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Right, so all of them other nations, it was saying, look, if they all sacrifice everything to the Most High, there still would be nothing. Because really the reason why the nations are existing today is because so they can be our slaves. Now the reason why we're in slavery right now because we disobey God's laws. That's why we having issues with our households. Okay, we could talk about the black women and the so-called black man's problems. We could talk about all of that. That all goes back in the Bible, the curses. Okay, it's like we was talking about earlier before. If you compare the so-called black woman to the Arabic woman, okay, if you go outside of the country, you'll find out that they're more in order than the women down here. Especially our women. Let's be factual. We all know, we're all men and we all know this. Okay? But the reason being is because, matter of fact, give me Isaiah 3. We're going to show you, proving that we're the Jews just based on the curse of the so-called black women. Get Isaiah 3.
Can I finish off first?
Okay, finish that. You can finish that.
All nations before him are nothing, or as nothing.
Right.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
They have counted
and
it
vanity.
to less than nothing. So all of these other nations are nothing, even including the so-called great white hope right here. so-called white man.
That's right.
He's a nobody. The reason why he's ruling the earth is to show us what wickedness is all about.
The man of sin.
The man of sin. That's why he's in power. And this is why war is going to stop, because a lot of our people, they don't know what's going on in terms of what's going on in the world. All right? But you have some of our people that do know what's going on in the world, and it's the brothers that you see out here that's doing this work. Let me put this down. Okay, I'm just speaking based on the majority of our people that they don't know what's going on. They still think that this society is going to go on, and the so-called white man is going to continue to rule and all of this nonsense.
Hey,
But
brother,
I understand
sorry
that.
to interrupt you. I'm coming back for this.
All right, bro.
Yeah?
All right,
Coming
man.
back.
All right, man. You know, so at the same, like I was saying before, our people, they believe and think that this man is going to continue to rule the earth with his ideology and his philosophies and his supremacy. But it's not going to go down. It ain't going to happen. He's going out of power. That's why you have wars and rumors of wars today. Okay, if you go on the RT News or any form of news media outlet, you'll find out that Syria is you'll find out something about Iran or Russia or between the two. Because war is on the verge. And then you have the chip coming in effect as well. So these are the two things, the two prophecies that are shouting out loud nowadays, that are speaking nowadays. Why? Because we're getting closer to the end. Okay, go on.
So you want to get that Isaiah?
Yeah, you can get that now. You can get that. Come on.
Isaiah 1 verse 20.
Isaiah 3, mistakes, I think.
3 verse 16. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go.
Right, they got those proud looks on their faces. And the word wanton is undisciplined. Meaning what they'll do is they may have a husband or a man, and she's looking at another man. All right, in the eye too. And this has happened to me multiple times. I could be walking down the street, and this girl, she's already got a man already, and she's looking at me in my face like she want to deal with me, committing adultery. So that's the prophecy going. And they were even doing that prior, and that's why the Most High cursed going.
Walking and mincing as they go, and making a tickling with their feet.
Right.
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts.
And that's why a lot of them wear the weave. They wear this excessive weave and they feel good about themselves. They feel like a brand new person. They feel like actual women now when they put it on. And not understanding that somebody else's hair. And they know it's somebody else's hair, but they just put it on anyway. Okay, and you got a lot of jakes, man, they like, man, she's kind of cute, whatever, but the Bible tells you that they will be ugly. Okay, let's read on.
In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Yeah, because they used to wear those jewelries on their feet. They are like bracelets, like jewelry.
About their feet and their cords and their round tires like the moon.
Right.
The chains and
meaning their hips, their shape. They don't have that no more. Okay, if you look at the average individual, the average daughter of Zion, they don't have that. It's pretty much straight. It's either straight or it's just girdles of fat, pretty much. That's the curse that we're reading about of the daughters of Zion, the Israelite women. So this proves right here that the Bible is speaking about our people right there. That alone proves that we're the Jews right there. Okay, or when they walking down the street, instead of them having their legs all toned up, they got fat at the back of their behind. That's what's going on. Go on, brother. They got all kind of cellulite at the back and everything like that. You all know the deal, brother. Go on.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
And that's what they do by themselves. When you go on the YouTube, what do you see? The same doggone woman twerking. Whether it's Jamaica, whether it's America, whether it's wherever they are, they're doing the same thing. Twerking their ass, showing their ass for the world to see. I was even watching someone on Tommy Sotomayor, right? And he was talking to this woman. this ghetto woman from Philadelphia, right? And basically, she was about to actually take her pants off to show and prove that she's a man. That's what she was going to do on the interview. Okay, that's what she was going to do, man. And she didn't mind doing it because that's what they like doing. They like exposing themselves. And that's what I noticed with the younger generation of black